Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's Fridays with Friends. We have had some breaks, but we are back after the holidays, and we hope this finds you well. My name is Alicia Herwood. I'm with Coast to Coast Legal Aid, and I am here today with Tom Pietrogallo, who is the CEO of Poverello. Hi, Tom. How are you today?
Hi, Alicia. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm very happy to have you join us.
It's so
And
gracious
just
of you to ask us. Thank you.
And just to learn more about Poverello and tell us, we'll kind of start with your mission statement. So can you tell us that?
Sure. So it's our mission comes out of the many years we've been in existence. We've been in existence since 1987. We most recently looked at it and updated it about 4 years, a little over 4 years ago now. And we provide nutritious food with the most understanding, respect, and love for people with chronic illnesses throughout South Florida that we can. That's basically our mission statement.
Very good. And that is such an important part of it for everyone every day is access to healthy food. What types of programs and services does Poverello offer?
Well, the most important one really has to do with that element of food is medicine, right? The most important thing that any of us can do for our overall health and wellness throughout the course of our lifetimes is to eat healthy and eat well, really is what we like to say. So our biggest, most important program to us is that making sure that people who are resource deprived in our communities have access to healthy, fresh, and high quality foods so that they can have some of that same health benefit that people with lots of resources get every day.
Okay.
So
And is
that's one
that
of the biggest programs.
okay? And that's through the food pantry at Poverello?
Correct. We call it
Okay.
the Poverello Eat Well Center.
Oh, very good. And how does someone seek services for the food pantry?
Well, right now we have a variety of different ways that we serve people, but if someone needs help and they're in Broward County right now, we have a specific program that allows them, if they're under 150% of federal poverty level, they are not receiving food from another food pantry, and they are food insecure, we will help them get connected to federal food programming. And for 6 weeks, we'll provide them with healthy groceries of their choosing from among the curated grocery items that we have in the food pantry.
Okay, and are those delivered? Do they come pick them up at Poverello? How does
It's
that
their
work?
choice. It's their choice. We're partnering with 211 Broward to actually have DoorDash do a lot of our deliveries. We've also got some volunteers that are doing deliveries. So if they want the groceries delivered, we can do that. If they'd rather have the flexibility of coming to pick them up, they would come pick them up, much like you would at Target or Walmart to pick up your groceries at those places.
Okay, and is that the Wilton Manors location?
Correct.
Okay, do you want to put the address for it out there so that everyone knows where they could pick those up or where your location is?
Sure, let me write it down in the chat. How's that?
Okay, that'll be
That way
perfect.
people, if they need to copy it down, they can do that.
Okay, perfect. And then I'll talk a little bit about it because full disclosure is I am on the board of directors for Poverello with it. And so I'm pretty familiar with the information with Poverello. But yeah, we'll add the address into the chat for it. And for any COVID specific information, just the safety precautions, since we're talking about picking up food or delivery, could you just talk about that for a minute?
Sure. So delivery is much like what some people are doing right now as far as receiving food in their homes, right? So we're going to call, we're going to say, okay, I'm on my way with the delivery. We're going to put it at your doorstep. Are you okay with that? Yeah, I'm okay with that. So once we get to the home, we put the grocery items on the doorstep, then we get back in the car and call back. It's there, can you pick it up? Once they picked it up, then we take off.
Okay.
So it's touchless, it's safe, and really meant to be a convenience for the people who need to shelter in place and or who can't come to the food pantry to pick it up.
Right. And at the store in Wilton Manors or the food pantry, when they come, they can park and there's numbers for the spots they park in to have it brought out, correct?
Correct. There's a sign in front of some parking spaces that reserves the parking space for our pantry visitors. And they can just read in one of the 3 languages of our communities what they need to do. And there's a phone number listed there. They can text their client number and we'll get that order ready, and we'll send them an email asking them to sign their receipt that they've received the food, and we'll put it in their trunk. They just have to pop the trunk and wait, and we'll put the foods that they ordered in their trunk.
Oh, and bring it right out. That makes me think
Right.
about when our mobile justice squad came to the Wilton Manors location and we parked
Yes.
out, and there were people that were coming in, to do their food pickups while we were there, and we were passing out our information for the mobile justice squad. We're going to put the link to the video from when we were there in the parking lot at Poverello, for anybody that wants to check that out on YouTube.
We
Now
loved
there.
having you.
Oh, it was great. And I think we're going to get one planned to be at your Pompano Beach store
Oh, that's
coming up.
great.
We need to get that coordinated. The other part to Poverello, I mean, you have so many parts to it, but what some other people may be familiar with, or maybe they're not, is the thrift stores. Can you talk a little bit about what they are and where they're located?
Sure. So our thrift stores really generate a vast majority of our income that allows us to do the programming for the food. What we get from reimbursed from our funders is a fraction of what we need to be able to do it the way we want to do it, with the healthy foods and the quantity and quality of foods. So the thrift store really is about 1/3 of our income every year. And we have 2, one at the Wilton Manors location that I listed on the chat, and the other one is in Pompano Beach, right at the corner of Powerline and Atlantic. Some people may be familiar with the area and think of the Walmart, the Super Walmart that's on one corner. We're on the north corner of Atlantic. So.
Okay. And for the thrift stores, if someone wanted, or for your food pantry, I'll tie them both in. If someone wanted to volunteer their time, how would they need to connect with you or with Poverello to volunteer?
They can email us or call, and we're going to give them an intake packet, which is a volunteer orientation and application.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows us to just give them a little bit of information about what we need from our volunteers and what they can expect from volunteering. And then we will put them to work in either the thrift stores or the back rooms of the thrift stores or the food pantry. We can have people, we are using people to, like I said, deliver groceries. So if they wanted to directly help people like that, again, there's a lot of different things that people can do to help. And it's a great time to really reach out and try to help your neighbors anyway, because we all feel a little bit isolated, and doing something like this in a safe environment, I think, is something that some of us really feel is important these days. So.
Yeah, it's very true, Tom. That's just really true. It's been 2020 was long, and we're in 2021 now with this. What about if someone has donations for the thrift store? Can they drop that off at both locations?
At both locations. So from 10 a.m. until about 4:30, is usually the best time to drop those off. They're special doors at both locations that they can just drive up to. We will help them if there are larger items that they have that they want help with pulling out of the vehicle, or if they have large items, like let's say, there's a move and someone's trying to lighten the load before they move to another place, and there are things that the gently used items that they'd like us to take as a donation, then people can just send us an email with a picture of those items, and we'll even come pick those things up from them. So We have
Okay.
people that do that. I'm going to put the email in the chat as well. It's front desk 1 at Poverello. So if anything you have that's larger that you wouldn't want to bring, but you would ask us to come pick up, you can just send an email to that email, and then we'll make arrangements. There are certain things we can't take, but most of the stuff, you know, if it's in good condition, we can definitely sell. And that's what we're using to really help fund some of these programs that we have.
Right. Oh, that's great. And then the stores are open which hours?
They're open from 10 until 6
Mhm.
every day.
Every day. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, Tom, I really appreciate your time today and giving me and the community as a whole information about Poverello and everything that you're doing to bring that fresh and healthy food to the community. And then, of course, the thrift store. I mean, I'm a thrifter, you know it. So, but just having that, you know, in the community is great. And COVID safe, you know, precautions for the stores are in place when you go there. But I really appreciate your time and all the work that you've been tirelessly doing before COVID and even now through all of this. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about Poverello.
All right. And everyone who's watching, thank you for tuning in. And we will be back next week for Fridays with Friends and continue on with our healthcare awareness month. Again, today was Food is Medicine, was our topic here with Poverello. And we will see you next week. Stay safe and stay well. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.